So, in 2006, we were introduced to one of the respected household names in the acting industry when he played a leading role in one of the award-winning movie called Tsotsi. From there, he went on and be part of other numerous beautiful and interesting production. The movie called Zama Zama, he went on again and he played in Number. He's also one of the directors and writers of a theater drama that was called Cell Number 4. This man did not surprise us in 2019 when he walked away with the SAFTAS Award for Best Actor in a Telenovela for his famous character in the river called Cobrizi, the massive Cobra. I'm talking about none other than Presley, Chweneyagae. That is how massive you are. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh man, thank you so much for joining me today. You are as massive as you portray yourself to be always. So, rumor says it, that you grew up as a very mischievous child. There is a story that I laughed my lungs out when I read about it, where you ran after your parents when they were going to work naked.
Yes, definitely. You know, yeah, it's one of those crazy stories, you know, when you grow up, you don't want to stay at home, especially when your parents are going to town, because when you're thinking about sweets and, you know, exciting things, and, you know, I never wanted to stay behind.
So you took the risk of running naked to the taxi rank?
Yeah, but it kind of worked out, you know, because there they were embarrassed, there were a lot of people there, they couldn't tell me away. So I got really lucky because they at least bought me new clothes.
They bought you new clothes?
Yes.
No, I think it's a truth. Next time I wanna get new clothes, I wanna run naked to the taxi rank. Your parents, take us to your childhood, man.
Yeah, when I grew up in Mafikeng, a small village called Pola Village, called Mafikeng, and you know, my parents, they are both in the police force. Yeah, but my dad is the more artistic one because he's part of the police band in the Northwest.
Okay.
And my mom is doing actually the opposite, which is flying squad.
Flying squad?
Yes.
What a woman.
Yeah, which is more, you know, more physical stuff, chasing criminals and whatever. So she's been doing that for quite some time, from the time I was born actually. So she just went into office work now recently, which is quite good because she's getting old. Yeah, but you know, when I was young, I used to worry a lot because of the kind of job she does. I mean, you watch a lot of, you know, films, and you will see that, you know, it's not really as easy and as glamorous as it looks. So I used to worry a lot, especially when she's working night shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I used to be very well. But you know, somehow it worked out.
Yeah. Are you the only child?
No. It's my older sister, Kaylee, and then it's me, and then it's my two younger brothers.
Two younger brothers. So you got one sister?
I got one sister, one older sister.
One older sister. But then your parents are more academic and more traditional work type. How did you then end up in the acting industry? When did your love for it start?
Well, I started with, Cobra, we used to have this subject called portraying, which is religious. Religious, yes. So we'd study the Bible and we'd act out the stories. So I used to play parts like Johanna Cobrizi and stuff like that. So my mother kind of saw that I was interested in this thing, and she saw this little advert from the Northwest Arts Council, which is now called the Mabana, where they were opening drama classes for kids. And I used to pay 5 rand per class from 1996. Yeah, so I used to go there on Saturdays. And I realized that it's something that I really loved, and I never looked back. I never stopped up to this day, and I've never done anything else, any other work.
You've never done anything else besides acting? That's how much you love it?
Yes, besides the arts, basically, because I do some writing and directing.
Yeah. Talking about writing and directing, you wrote a drama play called Township Lives with Paul.
Yes.
How was that? Was that your first theater play?
To write? Well, not really. I wrote my first play, was called Crime Story, which went on to win awards at the Crime Stop Drama Festival. Mr. Martin Chweneyagae was the producer and the director of the festival. And then from then, yeah, when we wrote Township Stories, I was actually doing my matric, so we would write at night and then I'd have to write the play.
Because I was about to ask you that,
yes.
How did you manage to go to school? Grade 12 year
Grade 12 year trapa. So really under pressure because I really wanted to become something. I wanted to get better and better.
Yeah.
So I had to nurse my passion and then first I moved around Pretoria. So I didn't want to go back to Mafeking or go back home, letting my parents down, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I made sure that it worked, and it is one of my biggest plays, or one of the biggest plays that we've done with Cobra, because it went on to travel to places like Germany, Amsterdam, France. So internationally, the play is well known, because we had to now change the title to Relativity, because we based the story on the fact that on the theory of relativity, Einstein, that the appearance depends on where you're standing.
You're so attached to Kasi Black life stories. Why is that? Like, you never really actually or write anything about Superman or anything like that. You always about crime, Kasi life, a boy trying to make it from the Kasi. How important is that for you to portray the character?
Yeah, well, I think it's very important for me because, I think being a South African, we are so close to the lifestyle, the kind of lifestyle that we live in the townships of Kokasi. Or if you see an older woman, you will see your aunt in her, you will see, your mother in her.
Yeah.
So those kind of things really help in terms of telling the story authentically, because you have those life experiences. And the biggest thing I think also is to also evolve with the times, like as you grow up, things change, people change. So it's important to be part of this narrative, the real South African stories. Yeah.
So, when you're talking about seeing aunties, I remember that I grew up in a time whereby when an adult see you doing wrong, or Kokasi, it doesn't matter whether you do or not, they will trap you, take you to your own mother's house, and both of them trap you via no. That's how we were actually brought up, and the whole thing I would wonder would check we actually we practice that.
Yes, we practice that. I mean, I used to get a whole lot of hiding. I mean, growing up, my aunts, especially, they would hit me and I chase them with stones all day.
So you chase them with stones?
Yeah, I was trying to retaliate.
So
yeah.
Tsotsi, you graced our cinema big screens with your character David, and you traveled the world. It was one of those proud moments for the whole of South Africa, Does that excitement ever get old for you?
It doesn't, it doesn't. Somehow, actually I was cleaning my garage on Sunday, and I bumped into old pictures, with myself and Kevin, who the director, and our late president and icon Mandela. It's those lifetime memories that I will cherish forever. Him saying to me,
So, fame, right? It's like a two-edged sword. It comes with a curse and a blessing. Right? How was your experience being being a public figure? What were your mistakes? And now that you are this matured, respected actor, what is it that you've learned from your mistakes back then?
Well, I am very fortunate because of my mentors, or the people that nurtured my talent and shaped me up when I was growing. People like your Paul and Mr. Presley from the South African State Theatre. They've always told us that, kind of taught us that time will come where you're going to be known or you're going to be famous. The importance of staying grounded and centered. That has really gone a long way. But as you would have it, not everybody will be happy with your success, or sometimes you not really in the mood to meet people, and whether they recognize you, they don't care if you're having a bad day
Yeah.
or you're having a good day. You know,
Yeah.
they want their picture. So these
It's
masks with COVID-19 have been quite
Good.
handy.
Because I was just telling my friends, they were telling how much one is that they don't realize it's us. Nobody's running after us now. Got this mask, we're all looking the same.
But you know, it's so funny, they can still see you. Yeah, what's about your voice?
I know. My mother was a Machwani Sane.
Yeah.
She would know from how you speak or all that. You would not pass her. So your characters, Presley, they are very intense, very emotional. How do you keep it so real?
Well, I think I've always said, even when I was a lot more younger, that you know, I really want to be a better actor as I grow up, because you know, with life, you know, even in real life, you start experiencing things that you've never experienced before. I mean, growing up, losing people in your life, you know, death and stuff like that. So those kind of emotions, they kind of make you more mature as you grow up, and then you kind of use your own life experiences to breathe life into characters. So that you ask yourself, if it was me in this kind of situation, what would I do, or how would this character react to that particular situation? So sometimes you have to draw from your own self, sometimes you use your own imagination to read others' lives.
Other people's lives.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You portray characters to a point whereby we can't separate you from David, we can't separate you from Cobra at this very moment.
Yeah.
So, Black life stories, right? You traveled to Germany, you traveled to different countries. But I recall of a story where you traveled to Germany, and when you got there, they were playing Tsotsi. And you realized that it was playing in German language.
Yes.
It was dubbed.
Yes.
How important do you think it is to portray our stories in our own languages? Because it looks like we are adopting foreign languages more than our own.
Yeah, well, I think it is very important for us to perform in our own languages, because what we do, that language does not only grow, but it remains relevant even to the ones that are coming, you know, the ones that are coming up. But not only that, it keeps us grounded, and it gives us that level of, you know, our own cultural values that, you know, we have and that we carry with ourselves, so that, you know, serenity,
Yes.
yeah, it's very important.
It's very important. I agree. I concur to that as well. I'd love to see more other productions portraying our languages, and I'm glad that currently you're playing Cobrizi, Lebara, and you speaking the social language. I think you know, you know, it makes people aware of how versatile we are as a country and how much of a rainbow nation we have.
Definitely.
So your character, Mukopa. You are portraying it, it's a very colorful character, right?
Yeah.
You are a brother, you're a hustler, you're a family-oriented man, you are very protective of your sisters and your mother in that drama.
Yeah.
How similar is Cobra to Presley?
I think I'm very family-oriented. Cobra is also family-oriented. Those are similarities. And, you know, I enjoy a good joke. And Cobra is a little bit different, because it's almost like he believes whatever he's saying at that particular moment. Even though sometimes it's you know, I hate the sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's very fond of himself.
He's very fond of himself, yeah. And he has boys in the story, I have boys. So those similarities.
Those similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that you have 3 sons, right?
Yes.
We'll get on to that. But talking about how funny Cobra is, who's the funniest on set?
The funniest on set. I think the funniest on set. I think that's quite a lot. I think
the most hilarious one.
the most hilarious one. think it will be the lady who plays Beautynizer, the sterilizer. I think she's just brilliant. She's very funny.
She is amazing.
Matsepo,
Yes.
who plays the Paul, also extremely funny.
Yeah.
But you know, I think we make such a great team because we believe in ensemble work. So most of the time we will be cracking up, laughing before we can get something right. That time we've cut a couple of times,
Oh my
just
goodness.
laughing.
I know also your the guy who's playing Cobrizi, what's her name?
Yes.
He's very hilarious as well. I would see your videos on your social media where you are busy saying you're aligning people. They are aligned. So you're a father of 3 sons. Parenting is an institution that nobody graduates. What is it that your kids, your sons have taught you?
I think responsibility, you know, how to own up and take responsibility, how to express love.
How to rap?
Yeah, how to rap also, yeah. Yeah, Preston is the one, you know, teaches me how to rap and the new dance moves, introduce me to TikTok and stuff like that.
Oh
so,
my goodness.
Yeah.
So you're having fun in the blast.
I am having fun.
You had a present father. Do you think you taking up responsibility, it's a character that you've drawn from your father?
I would say mostly my mother, because she's been there throughout, you know, taking care of us, being there, and because they separated when I was a lot more younger, and so I was with my mother most of my life.
You know what they say?
Always.
So we're taught to be consistent and to stand up and do things even when it's difficult. And now your relationship with Warren Masimoni, it's so brotherly, it's so heartwarming. Where did you guys meet?
We met many years ago, I think, during theatre days at the Market Theatre and also I think in Pretoria. But we were fortunate enough to do a film together called, we've actually done 2 films. We've done a film called 28 that premiered in Toronto some 3 years back or so. We spent some time in KZN together, I think a month or 2, filming there, and you know, it's always been a brother. And we also shot in Number together, the movie, and also the movie, and also the river.
And also the river,
So like he is a brother too.
Yeah, man, you guys are so close. Yeah, it's like nobody can actually separate the two. You're like buy one get one for me. I've realized that most of your style, it has a touch of utata in it because you wear a lot of colorful shirts. I don't know. You would wear a lot of colorful shirts, and I'll be like, okay, does the motive and the inspiration come from utata or what?
Yes, I think there is a touch of that also, but you know, guys that grew up in the townships, guys like Cobra and stuff, they are attached to wearing expensive clothes, and you know, sometimes they can go on for hours just talking about a particular kind of material or the name of a label or whatsoever.
When you were abroad, you also won an award where you were nominated in the same category with Denzel Washington.
Yes.
I'm glad I didn't watch that because it was going to be difficult for me to vote. How is it being recognized internationally and also locally?
Yeah, well, it means a lot, you know, it means a lot. It is something that motivates me. I mean, most of the time, just a nomination is enough to win, is greater. But it's something that, you know, motivates me, and it says to me, you are going towards the right direction. And, you know, with those awards, I did not expect to win at all. Because people like Otes, Cuba Pudding was also in the same category. It's people that I look up to. So it was quite mind-boggling to be. It was quite massive. Massive, really.
Your friends call you Yopara.
Yeah.
How did you get this name?
I have many nicknames. Others they call me Cobrizi.
Toretsa.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because Presley, and then by short name Press, and then by translate. There's nothing to do with stoked.
Oh, so Presley what Toretsa? Oh my goodness.
No, okay, Presley, and then Baron Press, and then
Yeah.
by translate.
Baron Press
no,
what
I get
Toretsa.
Yeah, so yeah, it's those nicknames that you get
Did you get it?
from Oskolo,
Yeah.
from your peers, and stuff like
And
that.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we are currently faced beyond the COVID-19 global pandemic. Nationally, we have always had gender-based violence. What's your message to all the men about this issue?
Yeah, I think it is a very serious thing. It's a big problem in our country, and as men, we need to create forums or spaces where we can sit and discuss, issues or personal issues, because you find that most of the time, it has to do with our background, how we grew up, growing up in, I'm not really trying to make excuses for abuse, but sometimes it has to do with how people grew up, the kind of situations that led them to become what they are. So sometimes it's not opari or in to go for therapy or go for stuff like that. But it needs to stop. It needs to stop. You should treat your lady the same way you'd like your mother or your sister to be treated, and that is not with violence.
Yeah, I do believe, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, right? And
Yeah.
and it used to say,
Yeah.
such teachings.
Tigers don't cry.
You understand, tigers don't cry. We've taught men not to express their emotions. And I've also, as much as I run Sisters Keepers, which is a women empowerment platform, I've started a program called Men Who Keep, because I realized that as much as I'm saying Sisters Keeper, my brother, my cousin, my nephew is my keeper as well. So I understand what you're saying, Wari. There's a whole lot of components and factors that adds into how our black men have been raised to become who they are right now. And you being a father of sons, you wouldn't want your son ending up being called what we are calling young men right now.
Definitely.
You have a foundation.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Something that I started because I believe that I was given an opportunity by others, so I have to create the same platform for others. So I work closely with the Southern African Youth Movement, which is an NGO that is based here in Pretoria. So basically what we do is we do a lot of development work in the arts. We've created theatre plays and documentaries with the youth we did a play, it was called Taking Back the Future, in the Free State and Northwest, and there's 3 provinces and Mpumalanga. So it is those kind of things that we try to create, but also, most importantly, what we've been doing recently was to contribute, organic food parcels and sanitizers, more. We did that, I think, in Mpumalanga, COVID Bank, we did that in Alexandra, we did that in Makubani and places like that, just to try and give support to those that are in need.
Yeah, especially right now with the COVID-19.
Yes.
Okay, so when I was watching your play, cell number 4,
Yes.
there was a part, you're so creative, you took me back to when I was growing up. There was this game, actually, Dinama, right? I want us to play that game. I want us to play that game right now. And I'm going to be... And I know that they were singing a song, but now there's this other song that takes me back to that game every time we play it. It used to go like, Akituba Zolo, Kituba Zolo, yeah, Zolo.
I got on Savannah TV. You start.
You took me back down the memory when I used to, because I used to play with guys a lot, and we used to play such games. And I think your theater work is just outstanding. and you on screen, it's beyond excellence. You know, you have graced us in such a way that it's impossible to overlook your excellence. You know, and I want to appreciate you and say thank you that you've made time to be with me today on the Unspoken Truth, and it has been wonderful getting to know the massive. Okay, I don't say it right. How do you say it again?
Merciful.
The mercy of the para, Mr. Alignment. It's Women's Month.
Yeah.
We just celebrated Women's Day two days ago, and I know that in the entertainment industry you also lost another legendary Bravo, and it's been a sad moment for everybody. But what would you like to say to all the women?
To all the women, I just want to say, have a beautiful month. We love and care for you. And thank you for always being there for the men of this country and the children of this country. We are because you are.
Oh my goodness. Sisters Keeper slogan says, I am because you are. And I think we've just seen that, we've just had that from the legendary, respected Cobrizi massive Presley Chweneyagae. Thank you so much for being with me. This is a token of appreciation from me to you. It's a small gift from my heart to say thank you for your time. I know you're extremely busy. It took us weeks to be having this interview. So this is a present from me to you to say thank you so much.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Family, this was a most interesting, intense and beautiful interview with one of the respected actors in the South African industry. It is no surprise that we are blessed to have one of these quality actors. And from me to you, I will see you next time. I am because you are.